Hello and welcome to the Gooner Talk, back again with you guys for another episode of what is the Arsenal Transfer Show. Joining you every morning at 8 a.m, the time of day which gives you absolutely no idea that a transfer is going to break literally an hour after you record it. Yes, that's right. For those of you that woke up, I imagine, in more of the western part of the world, in North and South America, you woke up, probably tuned into yesterday's show and was like, why is Tom not talking about Trossard? Why is he not? I tell you why Tom wasn't talking about Trossard. I can't believe I just referenced myself in the third person. How very silly of me. But the reason why I wasn't talking about Trossard is because the news didn't break until about an hour and a bit after we'd recorded the morning show. So, yeah, I looked like a bit of a mug yesterday for those that woke up and watched the show and was like, where's all the Trossard reaction? Well, we, of course, did do a phone-in show yesterday, which I'll talk a bit more about in a bit, and I will talk a bit more about Trossard shortly too. But without further ado, if you could drop a like on the video, I would really appreciate it. If you could subscribe to the channel as well, that would mean a lot. We're on our way to 44,000 subs, and don't forget to drop your press on that little thumbs up. That's what the like button is. If you don't know what a like button is, it's a big thumbs up. Sometimes it's quite hard to find. It's like below the video, but it's worth doing a little bit of searching to help out the channel, of course. All right, let's say good morning to people joining us in the chat box. Good morning to Peeny Ween, who's, to be fair, he's been done dirty by StreamYard because he's been getting in there first, and StreamYard's not been showing me who's been getting first. Akmal, good morning to you, to Tony, to Blackshine, to Jose, good morning to Stevie, to Kaiser, to Yomi, free Matt G. Where is Matt G? Morning to Olu, Brand Percy. Jean, good morning to you. Red Star, Harvey, Stephen, Damien, Dave, Conde, Martin. I don't see Matt G. What is going on? Maybe he's doing the medical for Trossard. Maybe that's Matt G's secret job, but I haven't spotted him yet in the chat box. Maybe he'll pop up shortly. All the usual suspects and more in there also. Good morning. Richard Legend, I'm here. Thank you for joining us, Richard, who is apparently a legend. What a surname. Anyway, let's crack on with today's stories. First of all, Tottenham made us feel pretty conflicted yesterday and then reminded us how crap they are by losing to Manchester City 4-2. Took a 2-0 lead into half-time, scoring 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes, and then lost the game with 3 goals in the space of 12 minutes before Mahrez wrapped things up in the 90th minute with Man City's 4th goal. Yes, very... I don't know. I don't know what... I didn't know what to think. You know, I tweeted out saying this is very conflicting when Spurs are winning at half-time. But, you know, you can't... If there's one thing you should learn, never rely on Tottenham, ever. I mean, imagine being a Tottenham fan and having to rely on them every week. Do you know any Tottenham fans? Just think about them. Just close your eyes. Think about the Tottenham fan and how unlucky they are to support Arsenal. Imagine for a second being actually, don't do that. It will ruin your Friday. Anyway, moving forwards. Harry Clarke, Arsenal Youth Academy product, has been with the club for 8 years now. He was recalled from his loan from Stoke City and has now been sent on a permanent deal to Ipswich. So we wish Harry the best of luck. He's put out a very nice message on his social media. But Harry Clarke, centre-back, now officially permanently left Arsenal. Don't have any details about the fee or anything like that, but he's moved to League Two, Ipswich, on a permanent deal. Ovie Ejeheri, the goalkeeper, has joined Finnish side SJK Seinäjoki on loan for the rest of the season. He had spent the first half of the season on loan at Cheltenham, I think. Or Chelmsford, it might be Chelmsford, and had done very well, actually. He was doing really, really well playing there, and now he's got an opportunity to play for a top-tier side in terms of like in Finnish football, playing for SJK Seinäjoki. I'm probably pronouncing that horribly wrong. Our Finnish listeners are going to butcher me in the comment section, but yes, he is indeed joined them on loan and has the opportunity to fight for a European qualification place with them as well. So, Ovie, wishing you the absolute best, and of course, we'll be keeping you updated with his loan experiences on our loan report show at the start of February. And now Arsenal are apparently eyeing the free transfer of Jaidon Anthony, the 23-year-old Bournemouth winger, who actually spent much of his career at Arsenal. He came through the Arsenal Youth Academy, had been there for 10 years between the years of 2006 and 2016. He joined Bournemouth in 2016 and in their youth academy, and has since gone through and played 60 times for Bournemouth, scoring 10 goals. But Arsenal apparently are looking at potentially bringing him back to the club on a free transfer in the summer. They've been very impressed with his development since moving to the South Coast, and maybe looking to bring him back in the summer on a free. Now, Arsenal also said, according to the latest reports, to be keeping tabs on Michael Olise. However, because of Zaha's situation and his contract ending at the end of the season, Palace are said not to particularly want to sell Michael Olise, but Arsenal do see the player as a potential competitor for Bukayo Saka in the future, and are said to be looking and keeping tabs on the French youth international. A player I very much like. Don't particularly like his celebrations or lack of celebrations, but I think as a player, very, very talented footballer indeed, and has certainly taken the step up to the Premier League since moving from Reading very, very well. Now, Tielemans, of course, we have been linked with Tielemans for some time. I told you in the summer, the expectation was if Arsenal were going to sign him, it would be on that free deal in the summer transfer window of 2023. And that does seem to be the case if indeed a move does happen, because Tielemans has said that he does not want to leave Leicester in January. He wants to stay until the summer and wants to move on that free transfer. Of course, there's a lot of financial benefits for players that want to leave the club in the summer on a free transfer. It gives you the opportunity to sign a much bigger signing on fee. Wages can be higher as well. And he is expected to leave the club in the summer for free and then sign for somebody else on what they describe as a Bosman. So let's see what happens with Tielemans. Let's see if Arsenal's interest is reinvigorated in the summer for a player that we know is Premier League proven and could give Arsenal some options in the middle. However, there's a lot of time to pass between now and then. So let's see indeed what happens. Arteta has spoken apparently directly to Ivan Fresneda, the Real Valladolid right back, who of course has been really impressing in his time in La Liga, and has apparently convinced him of Arsenal's project. This information comes from reports emerging from Spain. Arsenal apparently, despite the fact that Real Valladolid want to sign the player on loan, are in part still discussing whether or not they want to get this done on a permanent deal and for him to join the team this season. I think a lot of this probably hangs on Cedric's future as well. He is said not to have made up his mind, nor the club have made up their minds fully, it appears, on Cedric. A report emerging towards the end of yesterday about Cedric, about how the fact that they've not yet decided whether he'll move. He's not one step away, as some people have claimed, and yet a lot still can change between now and the end of the window. And of course, our headline story: Arsenal have agreed a deal with Brighton in the region of £27 million, which includes add-ons with an upfront guaranteed rather not an upfront, but a guaranteed fee of £21 million that I imagine will be split up into a structured send-off to Brighton. The race is now against the clock to register Trossard by midday today so that he can then face Manchester United on Sunday. Arsenal need to get this deal done, signed, finished, completed by midday. They've got under 4 hours now to try and get this one done. And if they are able to do it, he would be available for the game against Man United on Sunday. He would be able to take part in training the rest of today and part in the morning session tomorrow. Mikel Arteta is facing the media today as well. My colleague Kai Kanak will be at London Colney to speak to Mikel Arteta about the team news. Of course, we're looking for updates on Reece Nelson. Mohamed El Neni is also said to still be potentially injured ahead of the game against Man United and might not be available either. So there's a lot to be talked about. But Arsenal are racing against the clock now to try and sign Trossard so he's available for that game against Man United on Sunday, as I say. I've done a couple of pieces on Trossard if you want to go and check them out. Firstly, I did a good interview with Richie Mills, who is the Brighton correspondent for Sussex Live. Spoke a lot about Trossard, his strengths, his weaknesses, his kind of situation at Brighton. Talked a lot about how he's performed against the big teams and got some really big goals in big games, and he's got great Premier League experience. So certainly, please do go and check those out. One is linked in today's video description. And of course, yesterday we completed our phone-in show. Now, if you're listening to this on audio, I have an apology to make because I was an absolute moron and uploaded yesterday's morning show with the title of the phone-in show. That has now been corrected. So the phone-in audio version that you see on Spotify, iTunes, and all of your usual podcasting places, I can guarantee you now it is the right show. So apologies for that. But if you watched it yesterday, if you haven't yet watched it, it was a really good phone-in. We had at least probably about 15 or so different phoners call in. Are they called phoners? So I've made up that word. Phonies. I can't call them phonies. But yes, we have around 15 plus, I think, callers. Callers. Why don't I just call them callers? That's what they were. Ring in to talk about Leandro Trossard. So really good show. Overall, really, really positive as well. So lots to be positive about. Yes, thank you, Nicholas. It's callers, phoners. What on earth am I talking about? Anyway, yeah, so it was a really good show. I would encourage you to go and watch it. We had some fantastic guests, as we always have, some really good listeners on this channel that have some fantastic opinions. And we had a good chat with them. Just to give again my thoughts this morning on the Trossard deal, I'm very happy with it. I'm really looking forward to seeing him in an Arsenal shirt. I have to say, and I was very smug yesterday, and you know, the phononators, this chat box. I was very smug. I'll be very honest. I was quite smug about this because, let's be real, Edu has faced a ridiculous amount of criticism, and he has reacted with the club very, very quickly to this deal and reacted from the Mudryk disappointment to get this deal done. 24 hours is all that it took to get this deal done, and I'm very, very happy that we've managed to get hold of it as well. Now, we've had phoners and we've had callers, but I'll tell you who aren't phonies. It's NordVPN. NordVPN certainly are not phonies. They produce some very, very good security and safety services so that you can surf the net without any fear of anybody looking in. If you've got to worry about phoners getting involved with what you're doing online and producing some phony information about you, well, make sure you get NordVPN because it's going to be able to keep those pesky little trackers and peeping toms, blooming peeping toms, away from your stuff. You can get a really good discount off the service as well with using nordvpn.com/Gooner. That's nordvpn.com/Gooner to get yourself a big discount off your subscription. If you're not happy with the service, of course, you can get a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can change your geolocation. I mean, you could arguably change it even quicker than Leandro Trossard is changing his geolocation from Brighton to London. In fact, imagine if it took 2 hours to change a geolocation. Well, it doesn't. It's instantaneous, just like that. So make sure you get hold of your latest subscription to NordVPN with nordvpn.com/Gooner to get involved with that competition. And I can tell you there are just 13 tickets available and left in the competition to win a signed Bukayo Saka Arsenal shirt framed to go up on your wall. As I said, I love being sent the photos of people that got involved with these competitions and won. We've had loads of TGT listeners win so many different prizes across the couple of years now that Football Prizes have been helping sponsor the channel. So do get involved with the latest competition. If you do win, please do message me. I love seeing the photos when you get hold of your prizes. It means a lot that the listeners have sent such kind messages, not only to us, but to Football Prizes as well, saying they heard about them through us. So thank you so much for everybody that's got involved with this one, and best of luck if indeed you do get involved, because I imagine the tickets will sell out today. Okay, let's go to part 2 and your questions right after this. Okay, let's jump into the chat and see what questions we've got coming in. Benjamin Clarke. It sounds like a news reporter's name, doesn't it? Benjamin Clarke. Tom, I love the Trossard signing. However, do you think Edu got lucky? We would not have got him, and not at this price, if he hadn't had that fallout. So has Edu been underwhelming in 2 out of 3 windows? Benjamin, in short, the answer is no. I think the way to look at this is the way in which we've exploited this situation. We've jumped quickly, we've moved quickly. And yes, sure, opportunities arise. Yes, sure, this one has certainly favoured the Gunners in terms of its timing. But you also have to absolutely make sure you get these deals done, because if you don't, then that's worthy of criticism. I'm not going to see us be criticising Edu for taking advantage of a situation that's to our benefit. I think he's done a very good job indeed. Someone called Liam Is that a swear word? No, Costello, I think, says, hi, I'd love a shout out, please, Mr. Tom. I'm a big fan and just want to hear my name come out of your mouth. Moth. He can't even spell. He's a teacher, people, and he can't spell. Also, Trossard, great signing. Thank you, Liam. Much appreciate that. If it wasn't obvious, Liam does know who I am. Amberley says, taking advantage of opportunities is what it's all about. Not in all forms of life, it should be fair to say. Anton says, apparently Spurs made an offer for Trossard last week and it was rejected. Absolutely. Nizakit says, hi, Tom. Would you be happy if we only get Trossard this winter, but in the summer we get Rice, Olise, and Ndika? I think that'd be a great window, for Arsenal, adding those three players to this squad. That's a brilliant addition, or additions, I should say. So yes, Nizakita, I would be certainly happy, but we'd have to follow through because I think we do need a midfielder during this window. It is really, really important that we get a midfielder during this transfer window. And I think there's scope for it. And it does seem that from what a number of reporters are saying, that there is indeed still time for Arsenal to do stuff. And there's a will for Arsenal to try and strengthen the squad as well. Let's go to James says, Tom, is the medical finished for Trossard? I think it's going on at the moment. I'm pretty sure he is, if not already, at London Colney undergoing a medical. They are racing against time to try and get him registered before midday. MVR says, Tom, do you know why Arsenal don't want to loan Fresneda? Surely it's better for him to play games rather than being the third choice right back. Has Mikel changed his plans for Tomiyasu? I think Tomiyasu's versatility is always going to stand him in good stead in the squad. I think he can be used right back, left centre back. I think he's going to be used in lots of different ways. Next season, we're going to have we need a bigger squad. We need to bring in players that are going to give us the ability to rotate. And yes, I understand making sure that Fresneda plays regularly is going to be important, but he's going to come into the team. He's going to replace Cedric's place in the squad. Tomiyasu could arguably replace Holding's place in the squad as well, so that could be under a bit of threat. But I like what I've seen of this guy. If this deal doesn't look like it's getting closer, you can be sure we'll be doing a tactical breakdown. Speaking of tactical breakdowns, I am hoping to bring you one of Leandro Trossard today. That is my aim, my hope, my target is to get you one today. So fingers crossed we'll be able to bring that to you. Martin says, me and Mr. H, Mrs. H, sorry, are going out with some friends tomorrow. One couple are diehard Tottenham fans, and one of the other couples is a Liverpool fan. I think I may have a good evening. Yes, I think you might, Martin. I hope you enjoy your evening with the missus. South African Gooner says, Tom, do you think we baited Chelsea to go overspend for Mudryk while we went for Trossard defective tactics? No, I think we really wanted Mudryk. I love the theory. I really do. But no, I'm sorry. I don't think it is. Zeus, thank you so much for the kind donation. Excuse all my negativity lately, Tom. We got one in and he's such a quality signing. Exactly what we need right now. Big up for all the hard work you do. Zeus, thank you. And thank you for responding and reading the comments. I've responded to a couple of Zeus's comments and it's all about, holding your hands up. I've had to do that a million times. I've been wrong about so many different things. So it's comment like this that I really genuinely appreciate when people say, you know what, fair play. I hold my hands up. I got it this wrong. We got a fantastic signing done. Innie says, hi, Tom. It's pronounced Olise. Oh, like Michael Olise. Thank you so much. I always appreciate when people correct my pronunciations. And Tom Mullins, thank you so much for joining up as a member. Welcome to the TGT family. I think I may have missed out on a super chat as well. So I'm just going to quickly take a second to scroll up. If you could just, again, close your eyes and remember how bad Tottenham are whilst I am scrolling. That would be very much appreciated. I can't seem to find it for some reason. Not sure why. Akmal, I will read out your next comment in the chat box if you indeed do put one, but I can't find this super chat. I have scrolled literally to the top of all of the comments today and I can't find it. So sorry, Akmal. If you leave just a normal comment and I spot it, I will read it out. EKK says, Tom, Arsenal's ability to get the Trossard deal just shows that Shakhtar are a greedy club that denies Mudryk his dream move. Trossard will seriously take to Arsenal like a duck to water. I hope you're right. I very much hope you are right. James says, Tom, don't do a tactical breakdown until it's signed and sealed. I can't do the hard work for Chelsea no more. Don't worry. Look, Trossard is, I'm pretty certain to tell you that Trossard will be an Arsenal player. I'm like 99.9% confident to say that at this point. Ezra says another wasted talent, Amari Hutchinson. I wrote about this the other day. Amari Hutchinson must be feeling like an absolute mug. And I mean that with respect, but he must be feeling like a bit of a mug. You've left Arsenal to move to Chelsea because you think you're going to get a better opportunity to play. And since you've gone there, They've signed Raheem Sterling. They've signed Noni Madueke is coming in. They've signed Mykhailo Mudryk. They've still got Kai Havertz. They've still got Christian Pulisic. They've still got Hakim Ziyech. They've got Callum Hudson-Odoi coming back in the summer. They've got Aubameyang that play on the wing. They've got Mount that can play on the wide areas. Sure, I'm missing someone else, as well. If you're Amari Hutchinson, you must feel like a right mug. And, I don't have any sympathy. If you're going to leave Arsenal for Chelsea, why on earth would I have any sympathy for him? So I think he made a big mistake. I think his Arsenal career certainly could have been accelerated. I think he could have seen a place for him in the Arsenal squad with Reece Nelson moving on. I really don't get it. Manu, I love this. Manu says you can't blame him, really. He took a step down from the first place to a relegation side. Yeah, you think, moving from first to 10th, you get more of an opportunity to play. And Nkunku and Felix, I forgot about those two. Yeah, and Nkunku's coming in. Felix is here until the end of the season. Oh, you have to feel for that guy. You have to feel for Nkunku a bit. I mean, if you think about it, him moving to Chelsea now, I'm sure he'll play, but wow. I mean, they're going to have a front three of what? Mudryk and Nkunku, and I won't be Madueke yet. You think it'd be Havertz and Nkunku and Mudryk would be their front three? I prefer Martinelli, Saka, and Jesus. I don't know about you, but I think it's great. And they've spent 100 million on Mudryk, 80-odd million on Havertz. Who's the other guy I mentioned? They've still got Sterling. I've not even talked about. And Nkunku was about 50, 60 million. So that's a 200 million odds, 250 odd million odd front line. And, we spent 50 million on ours with Jesus, Martinelli, and Saka. When you think about it like that, it's kind of mad, isn't it? It's kind of crazy to think about it that way. Nizakit says, hi, Tom, any news on the Mudryk deal? Nelson. Mudryk stuck in my head now. On the Nelson deal. As far as I'm aware, there is no talks. There is no indication that the club will be renewing Nelson's contract. As far as I'm aware, that doesn't mean that they won't. I'm just not aware of any kind of indication that they will be renewing his deal. Gooner Jake says, hi, Tom. A bit away from Arsenal, but what do you make of Chelsea signing a mate for Reece James to keep him company in the medical room in terms of Noni Madueke? Yeah, they've spent a lot of money on Noni Madueke. I think they've spent arguably about the same as the upfront costs of Gakpo. It seems very close to the 37 million Liverpool are paying up front for Gakpo, and yet Noni Madueke has started 11 games, I think, or just not even started, but played 11 games this season. You have to feel for him. I don't know where he's going. I don't know why he would choose to do that. It doesn't seem like the right move. And I remember reading an interview from him recently that he was really happy at PSV, and he was actually thinking about representing the Netherlands as well. So this move, I don't know what the young guys are seeing. They're selling them these dreams at Chelsea. They're selling them this project. And look, I might look silly in a couple of years' time, maybe even less than that. Who knows? I might look really stupid for saying and doubting Chelsea because they've brought in a lot of young players like Chukwuemeka, of course, Noni Madueke that's coming in, Mudryk. They brought in that Casadei guy. They've obviously brought in Amari Hutchinson that we just talked about. They're bringing in Conor Gallagher's there, Mount's still there. They've got a lot of young players. Levi Colwill's going to be coming back in the summer. Reece James is still fairly young. So they have a lot of young players, of course. And of course, they're showing them the money. You're right, chat books. That is absolutely probably one of the big reasons as to why. But it's just a real kind of head, to think about Fofana as to why so many young players are choosing to go to a place where really I think they're selling them a dream that might not exist. Who knows? Mars says, I heard Chelsea slander and woke up like the Undertaker. Brilliant. Just sitting up straight in his chair like, what's this? I love a little bit of Chelsea bashing. Brilliant. Lukaku, 100 million. Wow. Yeah, great point, Manu. Matt, thank you so much for the donation. Is Leandro Trossard our Shaqiri or is he our Diogo Jota? I think he's a bit of both. And I know that's a bit of a cop-out to say he's a bit of both. But he hasn't got the age of Jota when Liverpool signed him, but he's got the versatility of Jota. And Shaqiri, I think he's got that kind of impact. In the first season that they signed Shaqiri, they went on to win the Champions League, and he scored 6 goals and got 3 assists in the Premier League season when he first signed. If we get 9 goal contributions from Trossard between now and the end of the season, we're buzzing with that. We are absolutely buzzing with that. So, and he's managed to do that already for Brighton. So let's see what he can do for Arsenal, because I'm looking forward to this signing. I really think it's a smart bit of business by Arsenal. and I look forward to seeing what they're doing. If you haven't dropped a like on the video already, please make sure you do. We've been getting over 1,000 likes on so many of our videos. If we could get 1.5, that would be mad. So if you haven't dropped a press the button, there's nearly 1,900 of you watching. So if at least every one of you was to press the like button, that would really help us out. Only takes a second to do it, and it really does improve the channel to no end, and it enables more people to see the content we produce. Lynn says, Tom, you've forgotten about all that money, and Mudryk is on less money than he would have got at Arsenal, and so Shakhtar has sold him down the river. Is he on less money? I thought he was on like double of what Arsenal offered him. I don't know where that's been seen. I thought he was on about double. I might be wrong. But yeah, I thought he was on double. Jason, can I rate the Trossard deal out of 10? 7.5 is what I've given the Trossard deal. If you get a midfielder in between now and the end of the window, I think contextually it probably ups that quite a bit and improves that quite a bit. I think that we'd be looking to about an 8.5 if we bring in a midfielder. But yeah, I'm very happy with the deal. I think just about context about how you rate things. So there you go. Marcus says, Tom, are you smug that you put Trossard in the number one spot on your list of 30 forwards? No, because if I'm being very honest, I thought that he might be one of the ones that we were looking to sign. That's why I put him first. With Zaha, I think was second. And then who was third? I can't remember who was third, but it wasn't really about who I thought would be the most likely. It was a bit of a fluke. You know, I'm not going to be so smug that I admit that it was all about that. But there you go. Leonard or Leonard, what would you prefer? Leonard sounds great, but it's probably Leonard, isn't it? Youri Tielemans, are we signing him? No, I don't think so, mate. I don't think so. Max Stays Black says, Tom, who was worse for them, Lukaku, Fernando Torres or Morata? Chelsea bashing for breakfast. Nice. Lovely stuff. I think that Lukaku's return has to be the worst of the bunch. You know, you think about how good he was when he was at Inter before he left. Yeah, that's awful. After 1 year, you spent 100 million euros on him and you're letting him go after a year? That's mad. Like Torres, at least, you know, helped them on their way to a Champions League win. Morata's one of the best players at earning transfers to big clubs in the history of football, potentially. I think Lukaku is the highest. He has accumulated the highest amount of transfer fees of any player ever in the history of the game. I'm pretty sure that's right. The move to Man United, the move to Everton, the move to Chelsea, the move to Inter, the move back. You know, all of these things I think must accumulate, I think, to the most that's ever been spent on a player of all time. So it's mad. It is mad thinking about the money that's been spent on that guy. Red Star says, what does this mean for Emile Smith-Rowe? I thought he'd play competition with Gabby until next season when he'd play Xhaka's role in pre-season and beyond. Is he going to play there this season? I think that Smith-Rowe is going to be an impact player and a rotation player for the Europa League. I think he can play Xhaka's role in theory. I think there's a lot of evidence to back up that he could potentially play that role. Trossard's so versatile that he can cover left wing, right wing, false 9, 10. You know, Trossard's going to be great for us to play in a lot of different roles. It's going to be interesting to see what he does for us. But Smith-Rowe is going to be an impact player for us for the rest of this season. In the Premier League in particular, he's going to be great coming off the bench. He's going to offer us something a bit different. And I think Trossard's the same. Think about that now. We've got Vieira, Smith-Rowe, and Trossard we can all bring off the bench. Not to mention Nketiah, I suppose, when Jesus comes back, or even Jesus himself when he first comes back, because he will be on the bench to start. So we've got great options. And it's exciting seeing how quickly one player returning from injury and one signing can make to the options that you've suddenly got in attack. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's the midfield now has got to be the focus. The midfield has got to be it. Now, I imagine that since we've been on, some tweets have been going on behind my back. So let's have a quick look to see if anything mad's been tweeted whilst we've been doing the show. Charles Watts is at London Colney. Well, there you go. Did I not say that? I said I reckon he's probably there right now. So there you go. According to Charles Watts, fantastic channel. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already to Charles. But apparently Trossard is indeed at London Colney right this very second. Arsenal look to get everything done and submitted before the 12 p.m. deadline. Lovely stuff. So we might get to see Mr. Trossard coming off the bench against Man United on Sunday. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed indeed. Timmy says, AirPod Albert knows exactly what Trossard is. Yeah, of course. Albert Stuvenberg used to manage and coach Trossard when he was at Genk. So It's a really good kind of link there. And I'm sure, look, there's a big question about Trossard is not his age. Let's be real. The age thing, people have blown that out of proportion. Way out of proportion. The problem with the Trossard deal is how he left Brighton. And when I speak to people around Brighton and people that are there, they aren't happy with the way that he left at all. So I think that because of that, that's where a lot of questions are coming from about his attitude. Now, I believe, and I truly believe, that Arteta would not have jumped to sign a player that he did not feel had that full commitment, that in the conversations he would have had with the player, that they wouldn't have been convinced by him. So I'm not concerned at this moment in time about the attitude and the way that he left Brighton. I'm not concerned about De Zerbi's comments because I trust Arsenal. I trust the process behind signing players. Hold on, I need to put $1 in the trust the process jar. I'm talking about dollars. It's just easier to put $1 because it's a note, isn't it? Rather, a pound coin makes a lot of noise when you throw it in a jar. Anyway, what am I talking about? Trossard, yeah, I'm not worried about it. I trust that the club have made the right choice. I trust they've done the due diligence on this, and hopefully there'll be no issues. But I know that some people have their reservations, and that's absolutely fine. By the way, thanks to everybody that liked my tweet yesterday about being 28 years of age. I really did not expect that tweet to blow up quite like it did. But over 3,000 of you liked that tweet, and I just said, it feels like crap to be 28 years of old today. Harish says, Tom, Ryan Gravenberch is not getting any minutes of Bayern, plus Bayern are signing Konrad Laimer. I would surely take him. What are your thoughts? Get him on loan. Harish, I think it's a great shout. Go get Ryan Gravenberch on loan to the end of the season. Not a bad shout at all. Go and do it. Awesome says, is MMS available on loan? I assume you mean Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, SMS. He apparently is, according to the Italian media, but I mean, salt shakers at the ready, people. You never know what to believe with the Republicas and the Calcio Mercatos and the tutor webs of this world. So yeah, difficult to know whether or not it's the case. Yomi says 28 is the new 21. I wish that was the case. Iquan says, I'm pretty sure you are closer to 27 than 28. That's not how it works. It's just not how it works, mate. You're 28 till you turn 29, and you're 28 as soon as you become it. You're not closer to 27. It's just not how it works. Daniel Roberts says, Tom, what are your thoughts on Mick McCarthy managing Charlie Patino? Yeah, I didn't actually include that in today's roundup. I should have done. Mick McCarthy has taken over the managerial role at Blackpool. I don't really know how to feel about that. I can't say that Mick McCarthy's known for his exuberant footballing style. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to feel about Mick McCarthy, to be honest. Who knows? Who knows at this stage what he's going to be able to produce? What we do know is that he pulls off quite the smouldering look when the camera pans into him. We do know that. Benji says, Tom, why not look at PSG from extra bodies? They always seem to have some wonder kid or midfielder that needs more minutes. It is going to be interesting to see what midfielder we go to between now and the end of the window. There is time. That's what I like about this deal. It's not how much we spent on Trossard. It's not even necessarily the player that's one of the best things about this. One of the best things about this deal is that we've done it now. We've done it on the 20th of January. We've got 10 days to get a midfielder in, potentially Ivan Fresneda as well. If we can do that, fantastic. I think that's going to be a great end to our window. We've got time. We've shown that we can get a deal done in 24 hours. Let's get this next midfielder in. Let's get more reinforcements in. I look forward to hearing from Mikel Arteta later in his press conference. We are going to wrap things up there. Don't go anywhere. Please drop a like before you go. It really helps out the channel. I don't mean to be that guy begging for likes, but it'd be great to hit 1.5 thousand likes on today's video if we can do it. We haven't managed it so far, so it'd be great if we can hit 1.5 today. So just one click and you've helped us on our way to that number. As I said, I'm hopefully going to be able to get a tactical breakdown for Trossard out for you later on today. That is the plan. That's what I'm aiming to do, is to get that out for you. We'll have plenty of Trossard chats on the channel, of course. And yeah, a preview for members. I'm probably going to be doing that tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow hopefully is when we'll be doing the preview show for the Manchester United game. So tomorrow evening, preview show for Manchester United. I look forward to bringing you all of that lovely, juicy content. Have a fantastic Friday. You've made it to the weekend. I consider this the weekend. I'm not working today. So enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. If I don't see you until then, have a fantastic time. And as always, up the Arsenal.